Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac. Afterbirth plus Way Up, I feel blessed. That's today's rap lyric, I think. 2B2V, XN2K. Stats are great. We have a 100% chance of a deal with the devil on this floor. It must be an XL floor. Eugenius, okay. Dude, Eugenius is a great name for like a villain in a Jimmy Neutron sequel or something like that. I know those of you who are super in the know are gonna be like, NL, actually... Ooh, don't get hit, don't get hit. This is a tricky one. In Camelot Software's 1998 Mario Golf RPG for the Game Boy Color, the main villain was called Genius. And you're right, but his name was not Eugene. It was just Gene, which is a slightly different thing, and all of a sudden I took damage. But hey, you know what? It's fair. It's a tricky room. If only we'd come this way first. Gotten a Spirit Heart, we'd be good to go. Coupon's kind of a weird starting item. Can I hit you with a brief bit of positivity? I think it's pretty good. Well, let's not go crazy. Because what I was thinking is that it's a free item from the shop, but it's not necessarily. It's a free item or consumable, and it does make a difference. And it doesn't get used up, so if we use it multiple times, you know, we get more and more likely to get the things that we're missing. We got Backpack right off the bat, which is kind of weird. I think Coupon is actually really nice with Backpack, because Coupon by itself provides almost no benefit, except for, like, getting items which actually give you a benefit later. So to pick up an item that actually gives us, you know, something like Shoop-Doop, something with offensive capability that gives me culpability, but in, like, a good way, that would be ideal for me. We're gonna get a Spirit Heart here. We still have, like, a 1/3 chance of getting a deal with the devil, so it's certainly, like, all is not lost. I like our Trinket as well. It's not the best of the Locusts, but it's, not necessarily bad. Don't even take that yet. I think that the STS sound, the phoneme, should just be taken out of the English language. Briskets. You know, just... The human mouth is not designed. It's like a Lisp generator. Baskets. Yeah, that one sort of works. What is it about, maybe it's like an ISTS? I don't know. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is... Well, baskets isn't an STS, is it? It'll be like bristus. Firsts, you know? It's just an awkward way to phrase things. We didn't get a deal with the devil. That's fine. I'm rambling already. We're going to take both of our HP upgrades. Didn't want to, because we might have been able to make something happen on a deal with the devil. But the world is still our oyster on this floor. Like, it looks like it's not amazing, but first off, our starting stats were good. Like, DPS might even border on, like, great. For a starting agglomeration of statistics, at least. Like, normally, we have roughly this rate of fire and maybe, like, 2/3 of this damage. So, I'm very pleased with where we're at so far. Dude, Serpent's Kiss is amazing. This is an incredible start. Dare I say that I think Serpent's Kiss also makes Locust better. Because if it helps us get to an early kill faster... Oh, wait, no, I got it confused with Lusty Blood. It's still really good, but it doesn't give us extra damage per enemy killed, so disregard what I was going to say there. And there's our first Demon Heart as a result. Grab that, of course. Angry Fly is pretty terrible in my opinion, but... Well, there is no but. It just kind of stinks. Most of the time. I don't think there's ever been a situation in which I've looked at Angry Fly and said, this is something I'm very happy to have right now, but life goes on. We preserved our Demon Heart. We're going to be out of here in an expedited fashion that gives us a genuine chance at boss rush. And I feel like my Isaac confidence, not record highs, but it's up there. You know, I feel good. I feel like we're playing well lately. Anything else in here we want to... Kind of want to, like, try, at least, right? I don't really want to pay for a battery. I'd rather just pay for whatever we'd want to get in the first place. So we'll be out. But, sure, you know, there's something going on here. It wouldn't be a bad floor, and always like to point this out because people might be under the impression that I think that Krampus's head is a bad item. Not the case. Not even close to the case. Krampus's head is a great item. Unfortunately, there's just so many incredible spacebar items in Isaac that it doesn't get much of a chance to shine. If you use it, like, it kills bosses for you. It wipes out rooms that are super annoying. It's like a more versatile Necronomicon. Same charge, much more, you know, versatility, because you can actually use it on a boss without doing merely 5% of his HP or something ridiculous like that. So, having the backpack is really like a nice excuse to use 2 spacebar items that don't get a whole lot of respect all the other times. So if we can get a deal with the devil and fight Krampus and get Krampus's head on this floor, normally we would look at that as a pretty big whiff, but in our present situation, I'd consider that to be just fine. And remember, that was an XL floor, so we have gone through 2 floors here. This is our 3rd one. So we whiffed on that first deal with the devil. Enjoying the coupon already. I don't know if luck is something that affects Serpent's Kiss. I mean, just in general, I always assume that it affects items that have a drop rate attached to them, but I might be totally off. Yo, that felt incredibly satisfying. Alright. Especially fighting this guy, we are guaranteed to get a deal with the devil here. That might be an efficient way of actually finishing the fight here, to be honest with you. Angry Fly, you know, it's harassing him, is doing some good work. And if you'll respectfully hear me out here. Oh, absolutely. I totally forgot that the coupon works on deals with the devil as well, but yeah, I'm going to take Brimstone. We haven't had it in a while. Now, I would go so far as to say that maybe, don't shoot the messenger, but a Tammy's head wouldn't be a bad call. And I gotta level with you. I'm feeling great. I told you I was feeling good heading into this episode. I don't know, I've been feeling like not that amazing with respect to my Isaac play lately. Like, mentally, I'm in a pretty good place. But in Isaac, I've been having a lot more, like, difficult runs. And some of that's been, you know, bad starting stats, and some of that has been poor play. You know, I think there's a little bit of both going on there. For some reason, I just feel like I feel clear today. I feel like my intestines were blocked up by a carne asada burrito. What kind of chip you got in there? A Dorito? And now they've been cleared out. This isn't a story about a mental blockage. I was literally constipated. No, not true. Not true. You know, I've never actually... There's a couple, and I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. There's a couple common things I've never experienced. I've never been constipated. At least, you know, for some reason, I think this happens to everybody. And I'm not trying to get too much TMI, you know? But, I mean, when you're spending 45 minutes a day with me for as long as this series has gone on, you know, you gotta expect that we might get into some personal stuff, right? I mean, we're friends at this point, even if it is a little one-sided. It's not that I haven't gone an interval without pooping. It's more like I've just never felt like that it's symptomatic of something. Like, I've never... When I moved to Korea, I didn't poop for like 6 days. And I was kind of losing my mind mentally. I was like, why haven't I pooped? Don't I need to poop? Like, is my body running at 100% efficiency? I don't understand. I don't really care about losing that card. And by the way, we got an awesome Death's List payout that gave us a huge rate of fire increase. But I digress because we're in the middle of a story here. But then eventually, you know, it came out and it was back to normal. But when I hear people talk about constipation, they're always like, you know, it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. That wasn't it for me. My body was just like, I'm giving up on this for a week. I've never experienced it. I don't know what it's like. One day, perhaps. But I don't know. I've always... Gastroenterologically, that's not how I think you say that word, but... Because all of you asked, I've always been blessed, you know? With a certain sense of regularity. Lucky me? Anyway, I don't know how you pivot off of that conversation. I wanted to bring it up because, you know, Austin... And I'm not trying to throw my boy under the bus here, but he had to acquiesce himself out of the Fortnite recordings this week for a little bit because of some gastrointestinal distress. And he was like, I know what I need to get from the pharmacy to cure it. And I was like, man, I've never been there. I've never gotten to that point. To know what the medicine is that fixes it is like a little mind-boggling to me. I mean, it's good. Obviously, you know, it's like you want to know what cures the thing that you got, but I was like, my dude, you got to eat some Kanaka broth. Each slice of Kanaka broth is like 10% of your daily fiber requirement. You have like 3 or 4 of those a day, you're doing fine. I'm telling you, use it as it's a delicious fiber supplement, dude. It's like when it comes to breakfast, I'm Swedish. Couple pieces of Kanaka. I hesitate to call them slices because they're really more like a cracker. Couple slices of Kanaka broth. Little breakfast ham and some cheddar cheese. I know, if you're a Swede, you're going, well, really, you should have it with like butter and cucumber slices. Look, okay? I do still live in North America. I'm not having a butter and cucumber sandwich for breakfast. Not about that lifestyle. I'm not putting caviar from a tube onto my Kanaka broth, okay? Just let me enjoy it. I think I'm okay with the locust for now, even though it's not insanely great for us. Hopefully we get a deal with the devil. Like, the run is so good. As soon as you get Brimstone, you lose the right to complain about anything. But I would like to see, perhaps, if maybe, first off, like, getting to a shop would be nice and using the coupon. If not, another deal with the devil would be nice. Use the coupon. And we do have, I don't even know, like, I took it, but I don't even know what you do with Missing No at this point in your life. Like, there was a time where I loved this item. Now it exists. Does Missing No, I can't even remember, does it only take us to special rooms? If so, we should definitely pop it. But if you'll forgive me, I'm not going to pop it on this floor because I have no idea where the heck we're going. So I'm going to move along. For those of you who are not aware, I guess we can still teleport out. Kanaka broth is and I might be pronouncing it a little funny. I think it's probably a fair assessment to make considering I don't live where it's made. It is a crisp bread, but to call it a bread, I'm gonna say, quite honestly, is a misnomer. It's more of a cracker, predominantly made with rye flour, used in the Nordic countries as kind of like a sandwich or a spread base. I wouldn't describe it as delicious necessarily, but it's really grown on me because I like crackers, but they're terrible for you. Like, genuinely true. And also, like, when you get the bougie crackers, they get expensive now. I didn't realize. You know, I grew up in a Wheat Thins era. Now they're trying to sell me, you know, sesame and Parmesan crisps. And it's like $4.50 a box or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I'll just get I'll get something else instead of paying $4.50 for a box of basically pure carbohydrates. So the Kanaka broth is like a nice happy medium. It's like a guilt-free cracker. Help. That also, I'm not making a joke. We asked for this item, so I'm taking it. I'm not making a joke. The fiber content is a big selling point, but anyway, that's it. If you don't like rye bread, you might not be a big fan, but I bet it's one of those foods that a lot of people, I'm sure when they go to the grocery store, they see these weird, you know, rye Vita or, I forget the other brand, but Vasa, that's it. And they go, who the heck's buying this stuff? It's me. It's me and it's Kate. Kate's buying them for me. I'm buying them for myself. Say no more. When no one is around you, if you ain't running grains. See, it's sort of, you know, there we go. Pop a magician. Make life a little simpler. Extreme BM to walk through his death animation, but I don't feel bad. Just trying to grab, that was very stupid of me. Just trying to grab the item room and get the heck out of town. I didn't even see that tiny lord there. I'm trying to take advantage of Death's List as well. It's giving us that awesome tiers upgrade. Ooh, chocolate milk brim. Does this gives you a nice rate of fire increase, I guess? We can get the heck out of town now. Trying to take advantage of Death's List, but it's not as easy as you'd think with Brimstone. You know, it's very easy to kill the first enemy, but if that enemy spawns other enemies, they usually die in the process, and it's a whole thing. There are foods in the grocery store I look at and I don't understand who buys them, though. Especially, like, I eat a lot of cheese, and I'm not necessarily saying that as a point of, you know, superiority at all. Most of it's just a cheddar. Wow, that was a whiff on Death's List there. I mean, I really like fishtail. I know we've had it a lot lately, but I really like it. And even still, when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, who's buying all these unusual cheeses? Because I feel like I'm one order of magnitude above the North American standard for cheese open-mindedness. A cheese with thick blue veins running through it, totally fine by me. Sign me up. Sometimes when I go to our Mod Pizza analog, I get blue cheese added to my pizza. You know, I understand it's an acquired taste. I like it a lot. A cheese that smells like feet, sign me up. Told this story before, but we went for like my 27th or 26th birthday, I think. Went to a really fancy Italian restaurant, and for dessert they served us a cheese plate, and one of the cheeses was like not quite the one that's like, you know, fermented by maggots in the Sumatran jungle or something, but it was like, oh, we wrapped it in wasp paper and buried it, and then it fermented in the dirt. And I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting, and I ate it, and I was like, this is trash. Stop making it. But with respect to anything else, I'll try pretty much any cheese once. A cheese that's as hard as a brick, totally fine. Cheese that's like a liquid, okay, sure. No problem. But when I go to the grocery store, I see like 30 different kinds of cheeses. I'm like, who's buying this? I don't understand. Cheddar, mozzarella, marble, Parmesan, Asiago, Gouda, I get them. There's probably some more that fit in there as well. But those are the North American cheeses, okay? And then feta. I'll give you that one as well. Brie. These all work, okay? But when I see like they're like, hey, Stilton's on sale. I'm like, why are you making Stilton here? Nobody here's eating Stilton. Stilton's like 2% of the population enjoys it. You're wasting your time with this, with the Stiltons. Get over it. That's about it. I think every time I go to the grocery store, I get another item. I'm like, somebody buys this? And the answer is yeah. I have to assume because, you know, I'm the one buying the Kanaka Bro. Making people question that to begin with. Okay, this is very good. Yeah, just walk on that like who cares, right? Death's Touch. Good for damage, bad for... Well, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't really want to take either of these. And you might be saying take the D100, but we have plausible deniability. I love the D100. I just don't want it to infect every single run we've ever had. And we did have the D4, and we used it prodigiously last time. So I feel like we're due for a non-reroll run. And I'm content for this to be that. I actually think that Death's Touch might have been a negative choice for us here. Thank you so much. No. No! Dude, we might actually lose. That would be embarrassing. I told you I was on. Now I'm not feeling so on. Okay, very simple. Crack this open, don't get small rock. Life goes on. Now be smart, okay? Because you can still immediately mess it up. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I don't even know what hit me, but what a delicate situation we find ourselves in. I'm very worried about teleporting enemies and beam-based enemies. I think we have to go for this fight. Yeah, just go stand on top of it. What's the big deal? Really, really smart move there. There goes the freaking streak, dude. Rem NG31. Wait, I'm almost like in awe. What happened? Where did it go? My confidence. I'm feeling like a surge of some kind of hormone pulsing through my body right now that it's making me furious.
The moon.
I don't know if it was a loss of focus or something, but that's an embarrassing loss. Well, so much for the streak. Now we can focus on actually playing the arcade. How do you... We should have taken the D100, to be real with you. Again, it's like I'm learning... First off, I'm not blaming anybody but myself for the loss, but I'm learning. I have all these arbitrary rules about Isaac. Oh, you can't take Brimstone and Mom's Knife twice in a row. You can't, this room, what are you doing? This is... Get this room out of the game. This is crazy. You know, oh, you can't take the D100 too often or it'll, you know, spoil the broth. How about, make the right decision, let Zane in when you can, and stop losing runs that are like a guaranteed win. This is... I'm angry at myself for I'm putting a restrictor plate, you know, on my own ability. That was a good run. I feel like an idiot for losing it there. We shouldn't have been so aggressive on the devil deal either. Just a lot of... I got off on the grocery store tangent. You know that's the subject on planet Earth that I'm most passionate about, and then... Oh well, life goes on. You get a second Isaac run today. Congratulations. Sprinkler's fun, and actually better than Butterbean, so we'll definitely take it temporarily, and then reroll it. I think we'll go with Acid Baby. It's okay. Well, it's a bummer. It's a bummer, dude. But life goes on, you know? This is definitely destined to be our 100 streak. So Sprinkler is horrible until our run gets good, and then it's incredible. Should not have picked up that Spirit Heart until we left. Look, you know, we're breaking IAA rule set again, and I apologize for it. Come back down here. This guy might be able to give you some extra HP up, so give him a chance. Even though he is going to potentially, or like definitely compromise our ability to get to an arcade. We'll see. We probably, we could have waited or we could have not waited on the guys. It shouldn't matter much, unless we get a bad curse on the next floor. Anyway, I'm over it. You know, I was annoyed with myself for losing that run, and I think I should be. How are our stats? Rate of fire is slightly below average. Damage is probably maybe about average. Speed's okay. Luck's above 0. Spacebar item is okay now. Not good, but okay. But it will get better as we get better, so... Wait, was that a blue fatty? Did we just get a secret unlocked there? I wasn't even paying attention. Acid Baby's pretty good as well. We can at least have hope that Acid Baby's gonna come through in the clutch. You know, if we get one Tears upgrade, this run starts to pop. And you'll forgive me, I might put a little bit of a rush in on this one, because we finished our last one on the womb 1 at 20 minutes. That's me pretending to throw up. Like I'm eating cheese with a thick blue vein. And I know if you're European, you might be saying, why are North Americans so uptight about cheese? I don't know. Well, I mean, it's cultural, you know? The thing about cheese is that, you know, when you grow up eating like cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, it's easy to forget that a food is essentially made by spoiling milk. So I can understand, you know, the logical argument that's like, why would you say you're turned off from blue cheese by default? Like, you know, cheese is already spoiled. You're looking at blue cheese and going, well, yeah, but it's not that spoiled. Not everybody's favorite. I don't know. It's just got to maintain like a certain degree of an open mind about it. So, Evil Eye is pretty terrible. I think this item, and again, you know, this is never going to happen, probably, but if I ever rebalance the game in my own image, which would probably make it worse, one of the things, Evil Eye is one of the items I would touch, without a doubt. What would I do? I would make it like a 25% chance to use Evil Eye. Maybe that scales out of control. It gets amazingly powerful, but, you know, as is, I don't know, what is it? Maybe 1 in 25? It's like the inverse. It's just not good enough to... Like, we don't even notice it when it exists. It's like it's an also-ran. Please give me Brimstone again. I've squandered my Brimstone chance and I'm upset with myself. Please. I've earned it somehow. Don't question that. Just sock it to me. Hey, Super Bandage again. One of those could be Brimstone. The Pact is really good. Not Brimstone, but really good. And Pentagram. Dude, this is actually like a great deal with the devil. You're still alive, huh? Okay. Bad gas. Down to the next floor. Run's looking good, but, you know, it is one of those you never know sort of situations. I'm gonna stretch. I think that's my brain telling me, like, that's where this run would have been finished if you didn't die earlier. But you know what? So be it. I actually think the sprinkler, and I've talked about it before, that was really bad. I think the sprinkler is one of the best designed spacebar items in the game. Most of the other items are fairly static. You know, they do whatever, not all of them, but most of them. They do whatever they do, and, you know, your stats don't really affect it all that much. Obviously, there's a lot that scale with your damage, but very few actually, like, get any sort of benefit at all from your tier effects. So to get an item like the sprinkler, in a way, it's kind of bad, because when you're bad and you need it to be good to carry you, it's also bad. And when you're good and you don't need it to carry you, it's great. Unfortunately, you know, you'd rather probably have it reversed, but not every item has to be balanced in, you know, what would be the best way to win the run. Some items are just, you know, they're balanced differently, and that's half the fun of Isaac in general. The other half is talking about how you would change other items if you were given the keys to the kingdom. At least at this point in my life. 99 bombs. Any bomb synergy makes this very good now. I mean, it's already very good, probably, but... If I could pick up, like... Sad, obviously, is top tier, but even number 2 bombs... Totally okay with it. Number 2 bombs are toxic. Where these really shine is, I mean, we don't need them because, like, our rate of fire is amazing, our damage is good, but where we really like them is, these situations where we're fighting an enemy who spawns other enemies. Anyway, I'm losing conversational momentum. Let's get back to it. You can't really think too logically about all foods, you know? It kind of spoils the... When you start to think logically about just about any food, I think the only foods that I don't feel weird about eating when I think about them highly logically are like fruits and vegetables. Because I'm like, it is a little weird that the sun just kind of gives them to us, you know? They grow in the ground and we can eat them for fuel. How messed up is that? Literal answer is not messed up at all, but the, you know... It's pretty amazing. Like, how lucky are we that the food that we eat just grows in the freaking ground? But not that weird. Meat is weird. It's like the flesh of a living creature. I still eat it, but I also recognize that it is a little... It's barbaric. To some extent, at least. And then, like... processed foods, and I don't even mean, like, Doritos. I mean, like, cheese... Even milk or something like that, when you think about it, you're like, I'm eating, like, the nutritional slurry of another creature that was meant for its child. Eggs! Eggs are super weird, the unfertilized ovum of another species. Like, I guess no matter what, you're always eating another species, whether it's a plant or an animal, but... You know, it's a little strange. I feel like if eggs didn't exist, if they hadn't been consumed for, you know, like... probably tens of thousands of years, maybe not hundreds, but, and then you watched a news report that's like, you know, over in French Guiana, they're, eating a new delicacy, the unfertilized ovum of a chicken. You would be like, But because there's such a part of culinary cuisine, basically everywhere, dude, I still get a little weirded out by runny yolks. So I can't really be mad at anybody for not liking blue cheese. Like, I'm open-minded when it comes to food. I've eaten so many eggs in my day. And I've eaten a lot of runny yolks. I've cooked a lot of runny yolks for myself. But given the choice, I don't eat them. I just prefer not to eat eggs in general. It's not like a grossness thing. It's always the last pick for me. In like an all-day breakfast where it's eggs, 2 types of meat, potatoes, toast. I'm going like potatoes, meat, bread. If I'm starving, I'll eat the eggs. But apart from that, I could take them or leave them. I go through some times when I like egg, and I go through some times where I'm like, I don't want to see it ever again. And that's my 2 cents. It's like tuna. Like, I feel the same way about canned tuna. Once every couple of years, when the moon doth shine and the grass doth grow, we should really be using those to do mass poison damage instead of nothing. But I tend to, I'll go through like a phase where I'm like, I just want to eat like, maybe like 10 cans of canned tuna this month. And then after that month is over, I'm like, that is a vinegary, disgusting mess. I don't know, maybe I have a mercury deficiency. Who knows? I don't think you can have a mercury deficiency. Foods, some of them are in phases. I think, at least. I'm trying to think of what other foods I'm weird with. I really don't like yogurt. It's a very popular food, and I don't do what I used to do, and what I see a lot of people doing in like Twitch chat. They go, I don't like this food that's really popular, and here's why I don't like it. Here's a logical argument that's gonna take down the yogurt industry, you know? That sort of thing isn't my bag, baby. I am gonna grab this real quick and see if we can... Ooh, we got Sackboy for 7 cents. What a deal. Lest you think that's me just trying to take down my boy Austin again. It's not. Not at all. Oh, let's go. I see it happen in Twitch chat all the time. People will be like, wine sucks. It tastes like vinegar. And then they expect that to be like the sheep are gonna wake up and be like, oh my god, I never thought of it that way. He's right. But yogurt is one of those ones where I'm like, when I eat it, it's sort of, I don't know if my brain's broken with respect to it, but I just want to gag. I have eaten yogurt recently. On the flight back from Korea, when Kate and I went there in February, yogurt was served as part of the breakfast. I have a rule about airplanes, because I starve on airplanes for whatever reason. Same as streaming. Maybe I'm just a hungry guy in general. We're going to take both to enable Whore of Babylon, but it is a little risky, I'll give you that. Yogurt was served as part of the breakfast. I ate the yogurt, and I was like, that's not bad, but I did have to tell my brain, like, yo, brain, this is just for calories. Like, don't... I would much rather eat something I don't like and be not hungry, even if the hunger is just a mildly unpleasant feeling. I think unknown pills we take on empty rooms. Known pills we use on rooms that we have enemies on, so we can get the maximum advantage out of the poison. Wow, we botched this one miserably. Also, I could pick up 1 extra bomb. Not a really smooth move here. That's extremely good. So is the Tears upgrade, by the way. Do you guys have, like, a meat? Like a meat, if you're a meat eater at least. Do you have a meat that's yours? When you go to a restaurant, you're like, I don't even need to look at the beef because I know I'm getting the lamb. I don't even need to look at the chicken because I know I'm getting the beef. We should have used that on a room. That was kind of dumb. I don't know if I do, but I will. Oh, we're definitely gonna reroll. Great run so far, but let's mix it up. Do we know? How do we not know these pills? That's what I'm looking at right now. Another Tears Up is very nice, but I almost never order beef in a restaurant. And I know you're saying, what about steak? What about it? I know what I said. I have, and I don't dislike beef. Not even close. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm like, steak is not that hard to do properly at home. It's not that I don't trust the chefs to do it. I trust them to do it better than me. But, you know, the margin is a little ridiculous. Anything involving breading, I'm substantially more likely to order in a restaurant. Oh my god, you fool. I'm substantially more likely to order in a restaurant, not because it's hard to bread your own foods at home, but because it's annoying from a dish standpoint. You gotta get the flour, and then the egg wash, and then the breadcrumbs, and then the blah blah, and the blah. It's not, again, these are extremely first world problems, I'm just saying. If I'm being real with you, I tend to be a fish guy. Like, if we're going to a relatively nice sit-down restaurant, and they're like, we got a baked chicken breast, you know, New York steak, and a ling cod. I'm the dude who's like, give me the ling cod. That's for me. I don't know, seafood doesn't get enough respect in my opinion. Not in North America, at least. A lot of people like it, a lot of people go, the fish is too fishy for me. But we've been down this road conversationally many times before. We don't have to go this way, okay? So, Blank Card Black Rune is very good. And we should have used it immediately. What's wrong with you? This run, post-reroll, should be fine. Stats are still good. Damage is worse. Rate of fire is very slightly better. Speed is worse. Our spacebar combination is really, really good. Yeah, let's do it. You know what annoys me at fancy restaurants? Not that we eat at fancy restaurants on the regular. I mean, most of the time we're getting sushi because we're, you know, lucky enough to live in an area where it's really good. But I wish that fancy restaurants embraced, to a greater extent, unfancy sides that are much more delicious. Like, I love a yuppie meat. I love a good scallop, you know? Who doesn't? But then they're always like, oh, the braised scallops fried delicately in a garlic butter and then garnished with a yuzu dressing. Let's go. And then as a side, I'm like, French fries, please. French fries. Oh, a salad made of Belgian endives. Or endives, I don't know. And I'm like, could you replace the endives with, like, tater tots? I'm not against, you, like, fancy restaurants, you're doing it right. You're doing it right on the entree side. And by the way, someone did point out they were being confused by my videos until they found out in North America, an appetizer is not an entree. The entree is a main course. I never really thought about it, but, I mean, you have an extremely good point. Why on earth is it called an entree? Which means, like, a starter. We need to get a battery charge so we can take advantage of that. Yeah, you're right, you're right. But yes, an entree is a main course here. For whatever reason, you know, I don't know. It's how we do things in North America, you know? It's not just, like, it's literally the most wrong you could be in a name, unless I'm missing some kind of, like, linguistic origin story for it. And then we just go, yeah, that's how we do it here. You know that thing that means X? Well, actually, it's 1 over X. It's negative X here. And yeah, that's how we like it. And if you don't like it, well, go back to France, you know? We have a chip on our shoulder, linguistically sometimes. I wouldn't describe it as good decisions. Not decisions you would make if you were designing it from the ground up. But anyway, I digress. So what we need is a restaurant that serves bougie... I mean, by bougie, I just mean, like, high-class, pretentious meats with, like, trash sides. That's my dream come true. Give me a delicately braised scallop, or multiple, ideally, and then just, like, McDonald's French fries on the side. That's my aesthetic. You know, it's a beautiful slice of Wagyu beef tenderloin and then some McCain curly fries. Or a side of tater tots with a Kraft single on top of it. Don't act like you wouldn't respect it, given the circumstances. Look at that, dude. Okay, so we're kind of in like a... Wow, what a shot. We're in like emergency protocol here, because this run has taken a long, long time and we're still not necessarily close to the end. My intention at the present moment is not to do boss rush. If we get a battery charge, I may indeed reconsider. Get out of jail free is different than get into jail free. Don't think we want it. Let's go for drug. So again, I don't think we'll do boss rush if we get something awesome. If it's just a normal-ish item, no thank you. All this talk of food's gotten me hungry. Should follow my own advice, dude, and actually, we don't even know what it's gonna be because it's Curse of the Unknown, so we'll just head down. Follow my own advice, dude. You gotta eat and drink before starting your recordings for the day. Something I do I really, like, I want to buck the idea that I'm some kind of streamer dad who's got everything under control. Even though I embrace that image to some extent, but, like, you know, I do get exhausted sometimes talking to my colleagues, and, you know, I'm like, hey, it's 7 p.m. your time, what'd you eat today? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, how does that happen? Go to the grocery store. Like, you gotta... Self-care sometimes involves doing a little bit of errand work and preparation and being like, hey, I went to the grocery store and bought a week's worth of food so that I'm not going to starve before my streamer. Like, you know, you got to wake up 10 minutes in advance of when you start working so that you can actually eat something. Today, I don't really have a great excuse. You know, I just slept in today. I've been trying to... Because I work in an unusual field, I romanticize 9-to-5 mundanity. So you might be saying, like, you know, oh, if I did the streamer life, I'd sleep 10 hours a day. You might be right. A lot of streamers do. A lot of streamers sleep like 4 hours a day. You know, some of them sleep 12 hours a day. It happens. But for me, I'm like, I want to be a 7-hour boy. I feel good when I wake up after 7 hours, not groggy, and productive. You know, I wake up with like a chip on my shoulder that's like, let's earn tonight's sleep. Please don't lose this run in the exact same fashion. But I fell asleep. We saw the late show of A Quiet Place last night. Started at 10:30. Relatively short movie. So, you know, once the trailers and stuff get done, we drove home. It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, you know, I could use a little bit more time to, you know, just relax. Watch a couple of things on Netflix. It's, you know, 3 a.m. by that point. I like to wake up around 9:30 or 10. Set my wake up light for 10, snoozed it, woke up at 11 when my emergency startle phone alarm went off, and I was like, oh man, I'm behind schedule. Didn't eat, should have eaten, dude. You always just feel better. I firmly believe that. You don't need me to say it for the 500th time, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm a big believer in breakfast actually being the most important meal of the day. You can skip breakfast with almost no consequence, especially as an adult. Nobody's gonna go, hey, did you eat breakfast, sweetie? You know, you have the freedom to be lazy in the morning if you want to. The punishment, and you might disagree with me on this, and by the way, you live your own life. I don't know, maybe you do perform better without eating breakfast. Maybe you do get nauseous when you eat in the morning. Either one of those could absolutely be true, or both of them could be true. It's something I hear a lot. People think that it's just like, I can deal with being hungry. Nah, it's like putting the wrong kind of gas in your car. Even if it's a subtle effect, I feel like you just perform better when you've eaten. I know I definitely feel that way. Like, I don't think we've done too badly here, but who knows? Maybe if I had a big breakfast, instead of losing the last run, we kind of steamroll it. No, it's a subtle vampire. I always say you should, you know, take the breakfast challenge. If you've lived your whole adult life not eating breakfast, wake up 10 minutes earlier. It doesn't have to be a big breakfast. You don't have to cook. Just eat something that's like, you know, relatively good for you in the morning. Do it for a month. And if you don't like it, never eat breakfast again. If you feel like it's made a change for you, there you go. It's a positive. That being said, I didn't follow my own advice today. You know why? I fell into the classic You know, what everybody says on an average Saturday morning. I got too much work to do today. No second secret room? Are you kidding me? Maybe if I had breakfast, I would have gotten that second secret room. See, that's a self-caricature at this point. No second secret room? No second secret room? Alright, don't take damage here, because this could actually be of pivotal importance. Yeah, stay trapped. Should use our bombs more to our advantage. This is like... That's what I get for saying my Isaac confidence was so high. Alright, I mean, I tried. I really did. I really did try to walk past it, but it just could not be done. Unless you could fly, I guess. And I'm thinking, like, maybe we should have just sucked up Cuba meat, but... That's a bummer, dude. I'm not that mad, because I kind of think it's just funny. You just gotta laugh, you know? You know what I'd love to see, because life is very dangerous at this level of HP, is a Hierophant card. Unfortunately, surprisingly relevant. Got enough bombs. We should definitely search these. Wow, it's just about the worst draw you could imagine there, short of spawning like 12 turrets. Now I gotta say, I'm starting to get into the high blood pressure zone of an Isaac run. And what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm looking at it and I'm starting to complain. I'm going, yeah, well, I mean, what do you expect? We got 5.84 damage this late in the game. Like, that's not how you construct a winning run. The truth of the matter is, you know, it's not false. We do have 4.84, or sorry, we have 4 full stop cast as an int rate of fire, which is definitely good enough to make a damage stat like that not be quite as poor. So just don't get too salty, because I think we got every ability to pull this run out. You just got to be a little bit smarter. Play a little bit better. Probably, like, use Black Rune a little bit more confidently as well. Like, there's no reason... With Sack Dagger, there was no reason to take Cuba Meat. Oh, you are an actual jerk. HP? No HP. Alright, we might actually lose. And then, I mean... These guys are real annoying. They're so erratic. I said erratic, by the way, not erotic. 2 different terms. Okay, we made it so far. We made it. Good pill? Lock up. So the answer is yes, good pill. But if we can't get... I just want to go back and watch some of the footage there real quick. How? Where did that creep come from? Does this guy shoot telepathic creep out? Or did, when the Gimpy, or not the Gimpy, but the Turtling died over there, did it do? I don't know, man. This is a bad run. Bad series of runs, but the grocery store tangent hopefully carried. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and be better.